Pundi is actually a Pundi X and Pundi AI. And I will share a little bit about Pundi X, which is a old project from 2017. And we also launched Pundi AI, but let's recap about Pundi X first. Pundi X is actually the first payment ecosystem project that was born in 2017. And back then, there were a lot of growth and also a very huge focus on the Korean market. So if you are actually active in the Korean market in 2017, you might have heard of it. And since then, we've been building Pundi X non-stop all over the world, from centralized to decentralized, and some of you might have seen something of this POS in a store near you, powered by us. And of course, Pundi X is listed from all the usual names, Upbit, Bithumb, Binance, Coinbase, and whatever. These are some of the recent development that we have been doing. USD1, we'll announce something with Circle. We have our wallet. We did some incubation project, etc. And of course, today I want to focus on another project which we are building recently called Pundi AI. The notion to build Pundi AI started from one innovator's dilemma, which is a developer, for example, Alex, has a breakthrough idea. But training quality data is very expensive. And his dream is actually to crowdfund the data, build the agent. Another data scientist, Sarah, which creates valuable data sets, but want to find a place to monetize. Therefore, there is a mismatch whereby innovators are starved of capital, creators are trapped in a model of one-time sales, and data that is fueling the AI revolution is not being properly monetized. And what we want to bring from Pundi AI, data pump, and data market is where data becomes a liquid asset. So when I talk about this, I think some of you might be imagining data as a ERC721 dataset. That is correct. So what we want to do is to create a revolutionary data, a platform for high quality AI data sets, creation, gathering of those data sets, and very importantly, meeting the scientists and the protocols to use the data set and monetize it. Essentially transforming static files into dynamic, tradable, on-chain assets. So how does it work? It's a simple three-step mechanism. Tokenize your data set. So if you have a science data set, which is a data set which is training the LLM, take your data set, tokenize it. Anyone can tokenize. Second, you can find protocols that are interested to buy your data set. You can also find fellow scientists that are interested to retrain the data set into a second data set. So you actually spawn ERC721 to another ERC721. And very importantly, you can crowdfund through hitting the bonding curve. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with the bonding curve crowdfunding mechanism. So the community buy the data set, which we like to call it a DTOK, directly from the bonding curve. Each purchase raises the price and increases the liquidity. And of course, when it hits the bonding curve, it goes to a liquidity center. And the one that we are hitting on right now is Pancake. Until now, we have over 120,000 DTOKs created and 16 data sets that have graduated into Pancake. What are these 16 data sets and what do they do? Let me give you an example. One of the data sets is actually trained to behave and understand a certain founder of Binance. And the protocol actually used the data set, which is open source and gathered from public places, especially X of CZ, and train the agent to behave and respond as such. And the data set actually gets trained and gets launched. And I think one thing very interesting for data scientists is that it actually gets monetized onto Pancake. Yeah, so it's something we are very familiar with, but not necessarily a traditional AI data scientist. So the ecosystem flywheel is very simple. Developers have access to an expanding pool of affordable liquid data sets. The community, which is token holders or investors, becomes the VC of the new data economy, funding innovation and sharing in the upside. Data contribution, which means that data contributors like data scientists, which has the data set, will be able to contribute. For developers, it's actually fueling the next wave of AI. Access to capital, a marketplace, which is the data marketplace, and also quality data sets that you can do various things, including integrating into the AI agent. And for data contributors, we give you a revenue stream from your data set, transparent royalties and ownership. And for the communities, ground floor access, a liquid and tradable asset, and direct fueling the innovation. Under the hood is actually a bonding curve and a secure contract. So our vision is actually to reclaim AI's original promise as an open, decentralized tool. We allow a world where AI is shared global resources and build collective data. So why Korean community matters? So we believe that we have been very invested in the Korean market since 2017 from our first project, which is Pundi X, and we want to replicate the same thing for Pundi AI. Let's look at some numbers that we have right now for Pundi AI. So we have 120,000 data sets tokenized. So if you go to our platform, you can actually see 120,000 data sets from mostly any kind of data sets you want, right? Football, history match of, I don't know, does anyone watch Premier League? So from 30 years of, I don't know, Man U, right? So that's the data set that's being collected. There could be fan-based collected data sets, there could be very scientifically collected data sets. So we have 120,000 data sets, we have 28,000 data contributors, and we have over 4.5 data tokens created so far. It is still very early stage, so if you compare to data that's being graduated like Pump Fund, this is like not even 0.1%. Yeah. So the future is here for data creators, AI developers, and of course investors. When I say investors, it means people that want to buy those data sets or tokens that are graduated from the data sets that's being traded. So for those of you that are interested, go to data.pundi.ai. And of course, one more thing. I think at least half of you will be in Singapore next week. And we will also be announcing our DTOK 10 million challenge with a $1 million prize pool for the latest challenge. So I think that's it for me. Thank you guys. Kamsahamnida.